Oh, right. God, that's a great way to start a video, especially because I'm not editing this. What's up, guys? Drag here, and I wanted to bring this to you, not for the memes, you degenerates, stop, but because I actually really like this deck. The mechanics for it are very reminiscent of, like, pretty much a combination of all three of the Paladin clans from V, and obviously before, but I really like it, and it's like a nice fusion, and I really appreciate the throwback. So without further ado on that, I'm gonna stop rambling and just get into the deck profile. So the ride deck is the very obvious grade 0 Knight of Integrity Thegrea, beneath the Brilliant Light Thegrea for the grade 1. Grade 2 is Harsh Training Thegrea, and the grade 3 I use the light, the one who walks the path of light Thegrea. The reason being is I would rather get the extra I'd rather use the shadow one on my second ride to get the extra restand. Gets me more cards in my hand, gets me more advantage, and honestly gives me the chance to do a little more damage, because crits, and yeah. So with that, the next thing we're going to start with are the grade 3s, just because they're quick and easy. Run the other 3 light Thegrea and 4 of the dark Thegrea. It's really self-explanatory. I don't really need to. You wanna alternate these guys. So you want to start with the light one and have the dark one in your hand, and then, you know, pretty much just whoosh. Just alternate these boys. But there are ways to make it a bit easier to get these guys in your hand, and that will be done in the grade 2s. So the first grade 2 is honestly, I got this idea from the shop that I go to. Justin, I really like this idea, bro, and so far I'm gonna keep rolling with it. But right now I only run it at 2 of, because I feel like that ratio is pretty good. Knight of Loyalty Bedivere. Okay, so this card is deck thinning. Honestly, if I could have found space to run a 3rd set, I would have. But the other grade 2s in the deck, I can't see not running. This deck ended up really tight. Like, to the point where there's pretty much every grade 2 in this lineup I would rather be running one more of. But I just couldn't pick between the two, because Bedivere's too good not to run at least 2. But I'm finding 2 is a pretty good ratio for me anyway, because by the time I get it, I either have one of the Ks in the drop or whatever. But he's still a good card to use, good for, you know, deck thinning, good shit. There is Arthen. Now, I run 2 of these. I'm not gonna lie, this card would not be as good as it is if it weren't for Gravidia being a thing, at least in my experience. Arthen is pretty good, but he hits good numbers, but he feels dead on first grade 3 turns. But against Gravidia, he stops destruction, basically. Gravidia can pretty much only target, or the meteors can only really target him. So, I mean, it helps. It helps against Gravidia. So, at that point, he has to be in the deck. I think 2 is pretty good for him, though. 2. The next 2 is Drilling Angel. Now, this card is one of the cards that I was talking about. So, with Drilling Angel, you can pretty much say you have the dark one in your hand, right? Your first grade 3 ride, You discard this. You play the Drilling Angel. This just goes right into your soul, so your light Thegrea's full effect is live, except for the riding on. She can't do the restand, but she can call 2 units. So that's really solid. This was another thing I got from somebody at the shop that I go to, Kevin. And I think it was him and Brent that were playing this card that I saw. And the final grade 4 is really obvious, and it's the only one I could see. It's the only one I couldn't see taking out, and it's Maple. I could probably run Maple at 3, but I feel like I wouldn't see it as much as I want. Maple's too good, especially when you combo it with Drilling Angel, because you can put Drilling Angel on board, put the Dark One in the soul, activate the effect to call the 2 units. If Maple's in those 2 units, just call that. Then when Maple attacks, you can throw her into the soul, ditch the grade 1 and 2, and then you get the 3 Dark One.
Excuse me, Odin.
So,
Come in.
we got that.
We'll stay here. Okay.
Now, the grade 1s are... They're pretty flex, I can see. We got 2K, which we run because of the 2 Bedivere. I mean, it's obvious. Bedivere searches it out and it helps deck thin. This one I feel like combos with Thegrea a lot, and it's Isalta. Now this is a common from, like, I think set 3. But because of Thegrea's, especially the Dark One, so you discard with the Dark One's skill, you stand a rear guard, or you stand her, and then you stand the rear guard behind it, so you don't just get your Vanguard back, you get the boost for your Vanguard back. Or you could do it on the light one and just restand an entire column rather than just one, you know. But she's really good. Plus, I really like her art. She kind of looks like Weishni from Ruby. So, I mean, there's that. The first 4 for the grade 1s is Energy Refill Angel. Playtesting this card just comes in handy way too much. Like, it helps you hit the big numbers you need, gets more cards out of your opponent's hand. Basically, this boy can be an 18k booster, and it's fantastic. And then the last grade 1's the obvious 4 PGs. So that's that. Last but not least is the trigger lineup. Now, I'm going to catch all the shit for this, but I don't really find there being a need for the effect crits. Don't get me wrong, Blade Feather Dragon's cool, and I intend on getting 4 of them at some point. But I'm not doing that right now. So for right now, I play the 1 Blade Feather, 3 Gurgant, which they're probably going to be what I take out for the Blade Feathers, 3 Fangwitch Disma, so all in all, 7 crits. We play 4 heals. I do not like the new heal triggers. Not entirely anyway. I can tell a need for them. Maybe if Bruce ever really becomes a huge threat again. But, like, I feel like this is just better because you're basically, if you use the other heal triggers, you're getting rid of 5k for the potential of getting an extra 5k. And it bothers me like a lot. Now, I don't know if I'm going to keep these guys or if I'm going to use the draw triggers, but I also run 4 all packs. Yes, I know I have 2 lifts, but that's because I only have the 2 all packs at the moment. But like I said, I don't really see a big need. These guys are a bit different because their shield goes up by 5k. But I don't know if I'm going to use these or if I'm going to use the draw triggers yet. I haven't decided. I haven't play tested this completely enough to know which triggers I want. But then of course the over trigger is the final of the 16. And yeah, that's it. So that's pretty much the entire thing. I did play test it in a tournament. I haven't play tested this build yet, just because I haven't really had the chance to since. But I really messed up in a tournament this last week, and forgot to put in like enough grade 1s, which is why I have the salsas and the energy refills at 4. They're the best that I could find, and with this one, with the light one, you want to have at least options in what you go into. But all that aside, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you guys like the build, like, follow, do all the good stuff. And peace out, guys.